Jessica, the Sweetwater Stitcher, and today is Thursday, March 30th. Welcome back to those of you who are returning, and I want to say a welcome to those of you who are new to my channel this week. Thank you guys for coming back. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate it and enjoy seeing the comments that you guys make and hearing what you're doing as well. I also wanted to remind everyone that I do have a Facebook group, and it is just called Sweetwater Stitcher on Facebook, and I'm also Sweetwater Stitcher on Instagram. So welcome, thank you, all of the things. So today I have, as always, lots of stuff, lots of fun things to show and what I've been working on. I first wanted to start with a finish and a partial FFO. I have two. I've sewed the pillows, but I haven't stuffed them yet. So I don't have a board today, but here is the first one. The first one is a stitch along that I was hosting and participating in with Nicole Spohr, and it is for Brenda Gervais, Rabbit and the Rose. And this pattern was released last year at Market, and I wanted to do it, and then saw Nicole was doing it and said, let's do it together. So we both stitched ours on 37 count Russian Tea Cake by Legacy Linen. We both used the called for colors, and I'm pretty sure she used the Whisper Floss. I ended up using, I don't have it over here. It has a little bit of a sparkle. I forget what, I think it's called Petite Treasure Braid. It just had a little bit, they didn't have the right color at my LNS, they were out, and so they had suggested that, and I really like it. The one thing I will say is I have never used Whisper or the Petite Treasure Braid, and it was a little bit hard for me to get through the holes, and so I did my best. And then when I used I used a toothbrush at the end to kind of fluff it up, it kind of covered up. It was really hard to see the hole after I made the first leg of the X, and so I was having a hard time because I'm trying to pull, and it was thicker than the holes, and probably using 37 count, the holes are tighter. So but I love how it turned out, and of course no one's going to be coming in my house and inspecting the bunny's tail, but I just thought it was so cute. I put this on the back, and what I am going to do is I'm going to stuff it. I put I have a hole at the bottom to stuff it, and then I'm going to use, she used like more of an aqua, something closer to the bow for a trim, but I have, this is vintage from Lady Dot Creates, and I am going to put this around the edge when I'm finished. So I need to stuff that and put the rickrack on the outside. And then I also, and this has a little bit of sawdust shavings in it, but I was able to finish this. I need to hold my hole. This was I think it's called Celebrate. This is a free chart from Liz Matthews on her website, and I will link her website below. And I dyed this fabric. This is Brother in Blue floss, and then I used some of the Lady Dot Creates velveteen in the color Blue Corn on the back. And I have to finish stuffing this. I am going to use this trim, which is a rayon hand dyed in the color Flag Blue, and this is what it looks like. And I'll put that, she has like a bow, and then it has a hanger, and I'm debating on the hanger part. I will definitely put the bow, but I'm thinking I'm going to put this in a dough bowl, so I don't know if I want the ribbon at the top, but I thought that this blue is pretty dark. And the other color that I had ordered, and I showed this a couple videos ago, to me, it just seemed too light for the pillow that I did, but it's really pretty. And I want to say that that was also blue corn or something like that. I forget which one, but it was another one of the rayon ribbons that was dyed. So I had, like I had said then, also, I just went on and ordered a few different blues to get them in to my craft room and see which colors matched. And then whatever I wasn't going to use for this, I'll use for something else. And I still also, with the velveteen, which I've never sewn with a velveteen, and it was really easy and I liked it. I have more, so I'll put that on the back of something else. But I thought it was fun and different because, like I said, I've only used fabric on the back of pillows. So it was fun to do something, use a different material on the back of the pillow. All right, so that was all of my finishes. And I will, like I said, I need to fully stuff them and get them all completed. But I was able to get some stitching done this week. And so the first one, my whip, was Rabbit in the Rose, and I got that finished. Then after I finished that, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. I told you guys last week some of the things I wanted to get done. I did work on Hive Rules. I did work on my Saltbox Solstice Sal, which are the Saltbox houses from Plum Street. And then I worked on a couple other things. So, and I did remember to bring up my Book of Days, which I had made a cover for, and I showed this before, and I got it's spiral bound. So I was just going to show you. I don't have any stickers, of course. I have one sticker for this month, but this is what my Book of Days looks like. So I have over here, I have all my starts, I have finishes, I have what I worked on the days that I worked on it. Then, because I did add the extra pages at the back, I have a page that has finishes. So when I finish a project, I've been putting that. And then I made myself a little key, and one of them says NSF, and that means new start finish. So I started it this year and I finished it. And then I have WF, which is a whip finish. So if I pulled out a whip and then I was able to finish it. And I decided to mark that. And then I'm also putting in parentheses the month that I finished it so that I can go back and use this as a reference. So far I have had 1, 2, 3, 4. I've had 8 finishes. I have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 of them were new start finishes. And then the other 2 were whips that I ended up finishing. So for it being March, and 2 of those finishes were larger finishes, I feel like that's pretty good. I have, let's see, two of them are at the framers. One of them I still haven't fully finished, and the other ones I have all fully finished. So I feel like for it being March, and as crazy as it has been in my world, and I'm sure many of everyone's world, I feel like that's pretty good. So, and of course, all of the statistics and information is all for my own personal use. So whether I keep up with keeping track or not, it doesn't matter, but I am interested to see at the end of the year and kind of as I go, what did I start? And that's also why I'm tracking my starts, just to see how many things I'm starting, what I'm starting. I might use that at the end of the year to catch up. I also, before I'm going to get into my whips, I was considering, which I don't know which month yet, taking a month to just work on whips that I started this year. I won't take all of them because I have started quite a lot of things. But I am thinking I might take a month at least and just pull out some whips that I started and try to get some of those finished. So just an idea if you are someone else who likes to start projects and then move on to other things. I thought that might be an interesting way to keep myself interested throughout the year. So that being said, I have some new starts too. Okay, so the first thing I have here is I have my Pansy patch quilts. This is this is part of my haul also. I saw her sneak peek of this. This is Retreat House, Stitcher's Retreat House. This is from Market. I saw her sneak peek and I fell in love with it. I love the house, the girls, the saying, everything. So I knew for sure I wanted to purchase this and start it at some point. This came on the day that I finished Rabbit and the Rose, and I had finished that in the morning. I wanted to maybe work on a whip. I could not find a whip I wanted to work on. So I thought, well, I'm gonna go ahead and get this started. So this I purchased from Stacy Stitches Creative Studio, and I will put a link to her shop below. And normally I do have a discount code to her shop for 10% off, and the code is Sweetwater. However, it does not work on any of the Market releases right now, but if you are purchasing anything that is not new from Market, that will get you 10% off. And let me find my actual stitching piece, because that's what you really want to see. So I am doing this on 36 count Tyco by Picture This Plus. And I really need to find, sorry. Oh, here we go. Okay, hold on. I need to get my board to put it on. I'm doing it on 36 count Tyco, and I just have a small start. I was able to start the vines over here on the side, and I am using all the called for colors with the exception of I switched out the reds. They were more of a mauve red, and I wanted them to be a little more red. I don't know what you would call it. So 377, 356, and 758. So, I mean, they're pretty close. I just changed them a little bit from the mauve. So, like I said, I have a small start. I really want to get back to this. It is not a big design, so I don't think it's going to take that long. But I will also, so today's the 30th. I have tomorrow, and then I am going to put everything down for the month of April, and I have a basket like I talked about last week with my 5 projects for April that I'm going to work on each of them for 5 days, and I'm going to stick to that plan. So some of these that I want to get back to, if I don't get anything done today or tomorrow, then I'll put them to the side and I'll pick those back up in May. Once I get back to kind of all my other stitching. So the next one, this was also a new start. This came in the mail and I had been waiting on it, and I wanted to start it, which there's no rules. You can do whatever you want. This is Float by Plum Street Samplers. And I ordered this as a kit from Treehouse Fiber Arts. And what came in the kit is a float, sting, all of the DMC, and the beautiful wooden thread keep. And I posted a picture of this on my Instagram. Now you had to put all the threads on here, but it is so pretty. And there is a magnet on here, and this magnet is very, very strong. I stuck my scissors on it, and a lot of times if I stick my scissors, they will like fall over, especially when the magnet's this size. They were not going anywhere. So this is a really strong magnet. And I normally use the rare earth magnet, so I don't know what they have in this magnet, but it's awesome. So this is a kit from Treehouse Fiber Arts. So I'll put the link to the kit below, but it's so pretty. And that thread keep is awesome. So I'm stitching this on 40 count sand by Picture This Plus. And this is where I am. And when I pulled the 40 count out, this is only the second project. I have a couple pieces of 40 count, but this is only the second project I've used. I was realizing that my eyes, I really don't have horrible eyes. I do have glasses for reading and computer and all that kind of stuff. But I can see without them. And I normally don't use magnification or anything, but I was feeling like I needed magnification for this. I do have the Halo Go light, the rechargeable, but it was kind of getting in my way and I didn't really want to have something sitting on my lap. I love that lamp and I will take that places, but I wanted to find something that I could use at my house that I didn't have to make sure it was charged and I didn't have to sit on my lap. So I had gotten a suggestion from Chantel for the one she had, which is by Daylight as well. And it's the 3.5 Omega lamp, and it attaches to a table. And I looked at that one, and then I was trying to, because they sell it at Fat Quarter Shop. They also sell it at Joann's. So I was just doing a Google search for it and to see if there was something that was a little bit less expensive. And I found this. This is also by Daylight, and this one sits on the floor. It's only one, or the magnification is 1.5, I believe. Let's see. It's a large magnifying, and it's lights up. And let me just make sure I am telling you. It's the Daylight brand, which is, the light is really good. I believe it's a 1.5 magnification, which is perfect. I don't really need a whole lot. And that was the other thing with the Omega is it's 3.5, so it's much stronger. But this is the lamp, and I bought it at Joann's yesterday. I haven't used it, but I did put my piece underneath of it, and the light's awesome. The lamp, the magnification is great. And it's 20% off right now at Joann's. All of the Daylight brand is. So if you are interested in this, which I picked this up at the store, the Omega 3.5 you had to order, but they would ship it to your house. That was also 20% off on Joann's. And today's Thursday, and I'm thinking it's through Saturday or Sunday. I don't know when Joann's switches. I think Sunday is when they switch their sale. So if you are interested and you see this before Sunday, which is April 2nd, and you need a lamp, that's a good place. There was also, and I don't know the name of it, but Chris, the camping stitcher, she was talking about, and some other people on the Zoom for her designer feature, another lamp that it's a floor lamp, and it's from Amazon, and it was also reasonably priced. So go check her channel out, the Camping Stitcher, if you are interested in that lamp. But this one, I turned it on, sat in my chair, pulled out my piece, and I haven't actually used it to stitch yet, but from what I can tell, I think it's gonna do exactly what I need it to do. So I wanted to put that out there, and the fact it's 20% off right now. So if you are interested, I would go look at that. So that was a start and a whip. And I am anxious to get back to this. This one, I think I need to go back through my plans for April. I think this is part of the plan, but I can't remember what I decided on because I really want to get that one done, and then I want to move on to Sting and have both of those completed. So I'm got to get back to that. Then I did put in a little bit more on Hive rules. I still am not completely caught up, but I feel like I'm caught up enough for right now. This is Hive. Oh my goodness. This is my Hive rules. It is on 36 count Rocky Road from XJU Designs. And I'm using the Victoria Clayton silk. And so last night I was able to get rules and Hive, and then I felt like, okay, that's enough. I wanted to do something else, but I really was trying to get this done. So I felt like if I could get the words done, I can easily put the motifs in later. So I did pick something else up to work on for a little bit, but I love this. And this is again in the scroll frame from Primrose Scroll Works, and Tracy is her name, and they have an Instagram, and you can order it through her. And her husband have made up this design of the scroll rods. It's their own design, and then she custom paints the sides, and she has a couple different designs. And I'm really enjoying having my piece on the scroll rods, pull it out, work on it, put it back in. So it's been fun to use those. This was the other piece I pulled out last night. I wanted to get started. This is kind of an unofficial, official stitch along that some of the Primrose girls are doing, Alicia's doing, Jess Como Stitches, some of the other people in our friend group, Holly, Mrs. Jones Stitches, Jody, Simply Stitching Ocala. I think Hannah's doing it, and maybe Felicia's doing it. I don't remember, but Americana Red by October House Fiber Arts. And I went back and forth a lot of times trying to decide if I wanted to do it in red or if I wanted to pick a different color. And I ended up deciding, with kind of inspiration from Holly, Mrs. Jones Stitches, to change the color. I was going to use the same color she is using, but I, of course, couldn't find it anywhere. So I happened to have bought a Belle Soie silk when I was at my LNS last time, and it's about the same color as the one Holly's using. So I thought, well, this will be perfect. So I am stitching it on. I am stitching the whole thing. Potentially, I'm not going to stitch the cherries at the bottom. I haven't decided yet, but I'm at least stitching to the end of the alphabet. But I don't know about the cherries, simply because I changed it to a different color and I feel like the cherries need to be red. So I haven't decided, but I have a long way to go before I have to decide. So I'm stitching this on 36 count Tyco, and I'm using Evergreen by Belle Soie. And I just have a tiny start. I started this last night, but I love this. So I want to try to put in a couple threads a day, and I will just make my progress like that. I'm in no rush to get this done, but I'm a little anxious to get one or two of my monochromatic samplers done, get them in frames and have them displayed, because I feel like I keep working on them, but I haven't gotten anything done. But part of it's my own fault, because I like to switch around, and there's no problem with that. But then sometimes some of the bigger projects, I feel like it's harder for me to get them finished, which is also why I am excited for April to try this 5 for 5 and work on one project for 5 days in a row and see how much progress I can get done. And I will be taking before and after pictures. A few of the pieces are new starts, so obviously I won't have anything to go, like there will be no start, but I would like to see how far I get. and then a couple of them I have started. And so I want to kind of see the progress and see what I can get done. So I'm excited about that. The next and last thing I worked on was I worked on this during the designer spotlight Zoom that Chris the Camping Stitcher and Nancy the Disorderly Stitcher are hosting once a month. And it was this past Tuesday, and the designer was Plum Street. So I have plenty of Plum Street to pull out, but this was one I wanted to try to get a decent amount done, and I'm starting on the first house. And I'm using all the called for colors. I am stitching mine in one long piece. Here is where I am. So I was able to, I went ahead and outlined the roof and the house, and I was trying to fill the house in. I did make a small mistake on the house, but I'm just correcting it by making, there's supposed to be one more row of blue. I only have 2 rows. There's supposed to be 3. So I'm just making all the windows the same height. So it's like self-correcting itself. It's not a big deal. But of course I wasn't paying attention on the Zoom, but I love this so much. So like, if you're not sure what I'm talking about, stitching it with the alphabet, Peter, who is O for Pete's Sake, Florida on Instagram, he has completed this, and I'm doing the same. He has 2, 2, and then he charted an alphabet, and then there's the other seasons after, and that's what I am doing as well. But I love this so much. And this is 36 count cappuccino by Fiber on a Whim. And here are, oh yeah, they are. Here are the beautiful colors. And some people were asking what I was using, and I am using all the called for colors. Oh, that is a hot mess, but so pretty. All right, so that is my whips. This is also a stitch along with Caitlin and Lauren, who is the New Hampshire Stitcher, and Cross Stitch Kate on Flosstube and Instagram. And the hashtag is hashtag Saltbox Solstice Sal. So I know a lot of people said they were joining in, and I hope you also will join, or if you have it in your stash, pull it out and stitch along with us. And you don't have to stitch them all. You don't have to stitch them all together. You can just stitch 1 or 2 separately as well. If you want to jump in along the way, that's also great to do. Okay. All right, let me go to haul. So the first thing, and I meant to show this last week, but I forgot, is I got from Bags by Ursula, and I'll put a link below to her Etsy shop, at the influence of Jody, who is Simply Stitching Ocala. She had, well, first of all, we saw this bag. This is, I'll show you the bag while I'm talking. This is called a Poppins bag, and it's looks like this, and then you open it up, and it opens up, and it's huge. It has like the metal on the top, and so it's like, it's very big on the inside. And I ended up sending her the fabric that I wanted. It's Lori Holt fabric, and I love it so much. So now both of my retreat bags are both Lori Holt. This one is pink, and then I have my other one from Tammy that is blue. But we first saw these at the All Things Winter Retreat. Someone who was there, she made the bags, and there is a pattern that you can make it yourself. I can make project bags. Other bags, I'm not really a bag maker. I try. It doesn't always turn out so great. So Jody went on Etsy and found this lady, her name is Ursula, and she makes these bags. And so she first emailed her or messaged her and asked if she could send her fabric to have the bag made. She did. And so then when she shared it, then I went ahead and sent the fabric to have the bag made. And I could not be happier. The bag is so great. And I mean, it is so well constructed. I highly recommend if you're in the market for a bag. It is very large. So, I mean, I don't think it will fit on an airplane under a seat. But I haven't measured it exactly to see. But it is an awesome bag. And so I wanted to share that with everybody. Okay, then I have from Stacy's Stitches. Let's see. Oh yeah, this is a piece. I don't really know what I was thinking. So I kept seeing this color on other people's floss tubes. It's from Atomic Ranch. It's called Morning Mint. I love the color. Stacy had it on her site. She was sold out of 36 count, and I thought I was ordering 40, and I ordered 46 count. So good thing I have the magnifier. So I got a piece of 46 count. I've only stitched on 40 as the highest, so we'll see what I do on this, but it's always an experience. So she has this on her website, and I'm pretty sure she's ordering more, or can order more. And then I got the retreat house from her, and this kit I was waiting for her to get in. This is Sweet Land Sampler by Shepherd's Bush, and it comes as a kit. It comes with the fabric, it comes with all the floss, and there's a couple embellishments, but I love this so much. And I love it because it's different than everything I have, but it still like goes with my decorating scheme. So I just thought it was delicate and sweet, and it would be awesome with my decoration. So I love this, and she has this in her shop. And then I also got, I don't remember if I showed this last week or not. This is French Flea Market Biscornu by Heartstring Samplery, and this is actually also the this month's giveaway from her. So this will be in the giveaway later. And then I had ordered the floss to do it, because I really do want to do this and then try to make the Biscornu, because I've never done that, but as you all know, I love blue. So I thought that would be the perfect one to try, because I really like the color. All right, then, let's see. Trying not to make a huge mess here. I meant to show this last week too. I get off these videos sometimes, and I've made all these notes, and then I realize I've forgotten half the stuff to say. This is a reproduction from Mrs. Flossy, Madeleine Delest, and I just love this so much. This is, I ordered the I got the PDF from her Etsy shop. She will have paper copies sold at the attic. They're not there yet, I don't think. She has silk conversion. She has fancy floss. She has DMC. She has a muted palette, and she has a bright palette. So there's lots of choices with this, but the pinks and the green and the teal are all my favorite colors. And so I got this. I have not started it yet. I have it all ready. But I think it's just going to go in the pile for right now too. When I'm in the mood to start something new, to pull this out. And this should not take too terribly long. It's not that big either. But I'm excited for all this stuff. Who are we kidding? It's just so pretty. Colors and muted or bright. I feel like I go towards the muted, but I also love looking at the bright stuff. So the struggle is real. So I showed this last week floral etchings. And then I also had seen Cecilia, and she had it at market. She took one of these flowers, I think it was the middle one, and she stitched it on the 20 count summer khaki cork linen over 2 using pearl cotton. I don't have the pearl cotton, but I was able to get the linen, the 20 count. So I really want to do at least one of these flowers, if not all of them, on this, make them big into pillows. So I had ordered this from 123 Stitch. So if you saw that picture also and are interested, it's right there. I was able to get a bag from Como Stitches, and this just has random stuff in it, but I love this bag. And then I have 2 more things, I think. The first one is also, I got this from Farm Girl Dry Goods, Michelle. She was kitting up this, I know. And I believe it's a little bit of a mess because I was trying to look at the linen. I'm pretty sure she dyed the linen on the inside, but I actually have a piece of boardwalk, which is what it calls for. So I'm not sure if I will use what she dyed or if I'll use boardwalk, but she kitted it with all the floss. So I was excited about that. So this is going on my to be stitched in the near future to go with my This Is the Day. And this is the day I did decide, although I had many people tell me that they loved the frame, I also loved the frame it was in. I just could not get past how close the margins were on the top and the bottom. And there was the top, although people were saying to move it up, if I moved it up, it would have been covering the smoke because there was white smoke. It's hard to see in the picture and on the video. So I kept looking at it and kept trying to decide. So what I did end up doing is I took it to a local framer that I found, and they are framing it. And I will, she said it will take about 2 weeks, and I did it this past weekend. So when I get it back, I'll be sure to share it. It's similar looking in that it's kind of in the shabby chic type of frame, which is what my house is. And that's what, how I want to frame my pieces that I do frame. So, but I'm really excited about the frame I picked, and I can't wait to share it, but I wanted to report back that that's what I ended up doing. And this is the last piece of haul I got, and I was very intrigued by this. So I have followed AKA Van Mom on Instagram for a while, and she started showing recent, and maybe it was before and I just hadn't paid attention. She started making these bento boxes, and this is how it came. And it's handmade with, out of wood, and I wanted to leave all of the pieces wrapped because this is how it came to my house. But what you do, and you can go to her, I'll put a link to her Etsy, or not her Etsy, her Instagram below, so you can go check her out. But she puts these out, and she also has a Patreon, which I'm not a part of yet, but that could also be in the near future. But she shows you on her Instagram how to fill these with stitchy things. And I want to show you. And then she also shows you, because she uses these for paper crafts as well. And then she also shows you how to take a piece of fabric and you wrap it all around, and then you can carry this somewhere else. So this is what it looks like. It has all these different compartments that you can put stuff in. And so I was just really intrigued by this. So I purchased this from her. She had a couple on her Instagram for sale. There's also a magnet. Oh, here we go. Linda Van Ostel. She has Van Accessible Patreon, And then her Instagram, like I said, is aka_van_mom. And here's her info, if it's gonna go. But I love this. So I am gonna work on this. I think I'm gonna paint it or whitewash it. And then I'm gonna fill it with my stitching goodness, and I will report back in 2 weeks what it looks like, because I will work on it between now and 2 weeks. There's also a magnet she put in here, and it says that she puts the magnet in one of the boxes after, and then this is the spoolie doll, and she uses this to wrap extra floss around or as a spacer. And so if you see, and then she has these wooden dowels that you can put thread on and put them in here. And so if you go, again, like I said, to her Instagram, you can see one of them all with stuff in it. So go check her out, and I'll put a link below, but just thought it was another fun thing to play around with for stitchers, or if you are a paper crafter or any of that. I mean, this would be a fun thing to have. So that is what I have for you for today. And let me just check. I think that's all. So like I said, starting April 1st, which is Saturday, I am going to be starting my 5 for 5, which I got the idea from Ellie and Allie from Yorkshire Dolly Mixtures. And also Ellie has her own floss tube as well, which is for the love of stitching. Check them out again if you haven't. And so they do something called 5 for 5, where they have 5 projects and they work on them for 5 days a piece, which gives you 25 days. And then the last 5 or 6 days of the month, they either go back to their roll the dice, which I'm using the whip sticks for my piece, or they continue working on one of their 5 for 5 pieces. My roll the dice or my whip stick piece that I did pick is Sally Spencer. So I am going to work on Sally Spencer. I know I also have my Annie B's Folk Art Channing Street. I have a Hands Across the Sea. I am still debating on which one I'm going to work on. I have a new one I want to start, or I was thinking of working on Lucy Barber. I haven't decided yet. And then also Every Opening Flower from Brenda Gervais, Home Sweet Home from Brenda Gervais, and then that's 5. So probably that's going to be my mix. I was also contemplating working on Float, but I might just wait and work on that in May. So we'll see. But thank you guys so much. Oh, let me do the giveaways. So last week for the giveaways, I did them on my Facebook group. This week I am going to do a couple on here. I'm not always going to do them on here. I'm not always going to do them on Facebook. I will kind of do a combination, and I'm not really doing them in any sort of pattern. So I'm not doing one here, one there. It's just going to be whatever I feel like that week. I'm also and I kind of mentioned it a minute ago, I am going to be back in 2 weeks. So I won't be back next Thursday, but I will be back the following Thursday with a video. So stay tuned in the Facebook group. I'm trying to post in there. I am trying to post on Instagram what I'm working on, what's going on in stories, to kind of in between fill in. I am also, I don't know when it's going to happen, but I keep saying I am going to be doing a stitching mat tutorial. I want to make myself another mat to go with my the pink Lori Holt bag. So I have one, and I have everything ready. I just have to find the time to film the tutorial. I am going to do that, and I have a couple other tutorial type things I was thinking about doing videos for. So those I will do when I can, and then I'll post those probably in the in-between weeks, but I don't have anything ready for next week, so we'll see what happens. But just, if you don't already, click the notification bell for my channel, and when I put a new video, it will notify you that I have one. And that's probably, for now, since I'm not gonna be every week, that's probably the best way to know if I've put something out there. So for this week, the giveaways, you need to be over 18, a US resident. You need to like the video and subscribe to my channel. And then if you just use just write a comment if you have any questions or what you're working on, and whatever you want to put, just as long as you put a comment and use the numbers, that would be great. So I really appreciate all of you guys, which is why I do the giveaways. They're all either, one of them is from Stacy. The other ones are ones that most of them I've bought myself or people have given me, but I like to give back because I appreciate you guys for watching my channel. So number one, this is from Stacy. She will be sending it, is French Flea Market Biscornu. So this is number one. And this was from Market. And this, I think, was previously a exclusive or a retreat piece or something. So this is number one. Number two is Float by Plum Street Samplers. This is number two. And number three is Sting by Heartstring. And these are like the complementary to each other. So this is 2 and this is 3. So again, just use the numbers 1, 2, or 3. In your comments, you can just put the numbers if whichever you're interested in, or if you're interested in all of them. Leave comment and all the other things. I hope you guys have a great 2 weeks. I hope you have a great, I'm trying to think what's happening. Today is my husband's birthday, so happy birthday to you, Michael. Next Wednesday is my youngest daughter's birthday. And then the following week, which is the week I will film, is my middle daughter's birthday. So, and Easter is in between there. So we have a lot of stuff going on the next couple weeks, which is part of why I decided to go to every other week. But I will be sure to report back as to what has happened. But until then, thank you guys so much, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.